Welcome to this edition of Literary Reviews. My name is Harper Jones, and we are going to review The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. The 1915 novella opens with one of the most famous and abrupt narrative events in literature, the inexplicable transformation of its protagonist, Gregor Samsa, into a gigantic, monstrous insect. Gregor, a traveling salesman and the sole financial support for his family, his father, mother, and younger sister Greta, wakes up one morning to find himself encased in a hard, segmented shell, his body segmented, and his legs numerous and flailing.
Why can't I roll over? Criminy, look at my legs. How am I going to work looking like this? Before I think about that, I must get on my feet.
Crucially, Gregor's initial reaction is not one of panic over his physical state, but one of deep anxiety about missing work. This preoccupation with duty and financial responsibility underscores the emotional and financial servitude that has defined his human life. He struggles to maneuver his unwieldy body, realizing he cannot leave his bed, while his agitated family and his imposing superior, the chief clerk, wait outside his locked bedroom door, demanding an explanation for his unprecedented lateness.
Gregor, your boss, the chief clerk, has come to the house to find you.
Greta, please ask him to wait 1 minute.
He said he's not going to wait. If you want your job, just come to the door.
Please, just 1 second.
The chief clerk, who represents the cold, impersonal demands of the working world, threatens Gregor's employment and his family's security. Under immense pressure, Gregor finally manages to unlock the door with his mandibles and reveal himself. The sight of the enormous, repulsive creature silences the chief clerk, who flees in terror and causes Gregor's mother to collapse. The father, however, reacts with immediate and violent hostility, pushing the helpless Gregor back into his room with a cane and newspaper. With that, Gregor is confined to his chamber, which quickly transforms from a bedroom into a prison and tomb, signaling the loss of his livelihood and his place in the world.
What am I to do now? First, they said they wanted me to go to work. Then they pushed me back in here and locked me in.
I could try to escape out of the window, but I'm not even sure if I can fly. I'm getting hangry, too. It's probably not the time to ask for something.
The family's financial stability is instantly shattered, forcing them to confront their own helplessness. Gregor's younger sister, Greta, initially takes on the role of his sole caretaker, perhaps because she feels a duty or simply because she is the least disgusted. She brings him scraps of food, which he can only enjoy if they are partially spoiled, and cleans his room. This brief period marks the zenith of the family's tolerance.
Gregor, I'm only helping you only because you're my brother. Do you think this might happen to me too? Are you willing to take a DNA test to confirm we're siblings?
You can be mean sometimes. You have been mostly good to me, though, but I hate to be a pest. But can you bring food that's less fresh?
As weeks pass, the Samsas adapt to their new, impoverished life. The father, a man who had previously lounged in comfortable retirement, takes on a uniform job as a bank messenger. The mother begins sewing for money, and Greta gets a job as a shop girl. As their own lives stabilize and their exhaustion grows, their care for Gregor declines rapidly. Greta, now burdened and resentful, performs her duties with hurried disgust and increasingly neglects his room.
She acts disgusted to come in here, yet her neglect is making my living space even more disgusting. She was nice to me at first.
The emotional distance is physicalized when the family decides to clear out Gregor's furniture to give the insect more space. This removal is the metaphorical erasure of Gregor's human identity. In a desperate act of clinging to his past, Gregor crawls onto a framed picture of a woman in furs. His father, seeing the movement, misinterprets it as an act of aggression and pelts Gregor with apples, one of which embeds itself in his back, causing a festering, agonizing wound that he carries until his death.
I've become such a burden. They basically erased my existence. Next thing you know, they'll call the Orkin Man.
The novella reaches its painful climax when the Samsas, struggling for money, take in 3 meticulously clean and demanding lodgers. Gregor is now a closely guarded secret. One evening, Greta plays the violin for the lodgers. The music, a transcendent reminder of his human soul, draws Gregor out of his room. His appearance terrifies the lodgers, who declare they are leaving without paying rent.
We must try to get rid of it. It's the only way, Father. You must try to rid yourself of the idea that it's Gregor.
I wouldn't have expected Greta to say that. I'm not even sure that she cared that I could hear her. They have alienated and dehumanized me.
Rejected by the person he loved and supported most, and acknowledging that his existence is the single source of his family's misery and failure, he quietly starves himself to death overnight. The cleaning woman discovers his corpse and disposes of it. The family experiences an overwhelming sense of relief and liberation. They dismiss the demanding lodgers and take a tram ride into the countryside, discussing their future prospects and the lighter days ahead. The metamorphosis is complete. Gregor's life as a human was a burden that only his death could lift, allowing the Samsa family to finally reclaim their own lives. Thank you for joining us with this edition of Literary Reviews.